going on, everyone? Dave here. This is my month 8 investment portfolio update video. For those of you who are new to the channel, and I'm sure it's only about 8, 9, or 10 of you, I invest solely into Nvidia and Bitcoin, and will continue to do this until March of 2034. So I have it'll be 120 months of doing this from the beginning when I started in March of 2024 all the way to the end in March 2034. So I have a lot of other videos explaining why I decided to go down this pathway. And it's something that I am dedicated towards. And this whole channel, I'm never gonna get famous off of it. I'm never gonna make money off of this thing. It's kind of just my own personal journal for me to keep myself in check, that I need to keep investing, and it's also for other people who are maybe considering Nvidia and Bitcoin and whether or not you want to invest in it, and kind of just show you the journey of an investor. You know, the ups, the downs, and the reasons behind it. So, without any further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. This won't take too much time. So, as I already mentioned, I'm on a 120 month time frame, so 10 years, from March of this year all the way to March of 2034, and I'm investing solely into Nvidia and Bitcoin. There are a couple things with Nvidia. Bitcoin I will always invest in, but with Nvidia, at least for me, there are some caveats, like if in 2 years from now Jensen Huang, something happens to him or he steps down, I may seriously kind of I'll probably keep investing in Nvidia, but I'll probably put more towards Bitcoin, just because I have a lot of conviction with the power law and the trajectory of where that'll go within the next 10 plus years. I mean, 20, 30, 40 years from now. But irregardless, 120 months, I'm investing into these two things, and that's what I'm committed towards. So, my investment amount or contribution for the month of October. It is currently October 17th, and I put $991.44 towards Bitcoin, and I put $53 towards Nvidia shares. So, I have to do foreign money or overseas remittance from my Korean account that I get paid in into my American account. And unfortunately, when I send that money over, it does take some in fees, and also the current exchange rate with the U.S. dollar and Korean won. So I wanted to put 1,000, but there were a couple fees I had to pay, so it's down about $8 and some change. So $991.44 towards Bitcoin, $53 into shares of Nvidia. And you may ask, well, why did you put $53 into Nvidia? I had some spare money sitting in my American account, not too much. I had to pay off some of my student loan, and had $53 sitting there, and I said, what the heck? I'll buy some fractional shares of Nvidia, and that's exactly what I did. And just like I mentioned in last month's video, the September one, I am contributing solely, and when I say solely, I mean the majority. I'm dedicating at least $1,000 towards Bitcoin, you know, minus the fees, $1,000 towards Bitcoin a month for the rest of this year. And if I have a little leftover money, if I have 20, $30 in, it could be as little as like $5. I will send it towards Nvidia. I'd much rather have it in, you know, invested as opposed to just sitting in my checking account in cash. So this was my investment amount for the month of October. Now, my current portfolio value, Nvidia has skyrocketed over the past few days. There's been a lot of positive news, and I think there's a lot of big money involved here. Obviously, it's not just Nvidia; it's also like the VOO. The S&P 500 indexes, have been doing pretty well over the past few days, and which is why why we're currently right here. So Nvidia, my current value, I have 115 shares at $16,048.22. And I have zero point 0.17 Bitcoin at $11,974. So from the month of September to where I'm currently at now, obviously in October, I have a 19.33% return. And my total portfolio, Bitcoin and shares of Nvidia, is at $28,022.22. Finally, yeah, I don't have a ton of people that view these things, and I'm on a bit of a time crunch because my wife's coming home soon, and I'm kind of just trying to get this video in. But this is kind of a graph of where I've been since April. And as you can see right now, we are at $28,022, and we're about up here where I have this arrow. So the month of September, when I created the last video, I was at $23,482. 2 weeks later, I contributed, or I made my contribution towards Bitcoin and Nvidia, and we are now sitting up here. So we've had some good growth, obviously, over the past month, and it has not always been like this. I think there's a lot of institutions investing because of the upcoming election. Trump right now is kind of the favorite to become the next president, and people are kind of speculating. I think Kamala Harris too. Like if Kamala gets elected, I think the markets you'll still see some positive returns. But if Trump becomes elected, I think it's going to be much bigger, and I think that's what institutional investors are kind of looking at, and retail investors as well. But um, the big money is what's pushing this thing up. That when I did this video last month, I think Nvidia was sitting at $124 per share. It may have even been less. Now it's sitting at $139 per share. 139. So, and I have tons of other videos on Nvidia, but guys, now's the time to kind of invest in these two things. Bitcoin, especially. I think after we find out who's president, Bitcoin is going to get a serious bump. And I also believe Nvidia, the election's going to be a big factor with Nvidia, but another big factor with Nvidia is going to be that earnings call, which is November 20th of this year. And the Blackwell chips that Nvidia has been, sorry, I'm getting some text. Nvidia has been pumping out to these hyperscalers and other companies. There is not enough supply to meet demand, and I think they are really going to blow it out of the water. And I think after the previous earnings call, where maybe people they didn't get the news they necessarily wanted to hear, or the blow it out of the water, earnings report. I think we're going to see that here, and Nvidia is probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to $150 plus by the end of this year. So I'm very bullish on that, which is why I keep investing in it, and also bullish long term on Bitcoin. So, with that being said, guys, that is my video here for the month of October. Any kind of subscription, greatly appreciated, and I will continue doing these videos along with, some Nvidia and Bitcoin updates as far as news is concerned. So, please, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next month.